Hi guys, I'm finally getting my life together and getting organized and getting things done, and I miss doing YouTube videos. It's been a little while since I've done some, and I keep saying I'm going to come back, but I'm going to try to just... Diablo 3 is down right now, so I thought I'd come and do a couple videos. So I'm going to do a review on Diablo 3 and how some of the choices they made I don't quite understand. Because I was having this really hard point in my life, and then I decided I would, okay, things are hard right now, hang in there, there's things coming that I wanted, like I wanted to see the Avengers, and I wanted to play Diablo 3, and there was a couple other things I wanted, and that, kind of got me through the hard time, knowing, okay, just hang in there, you'll have something fun to play with soon, and it really did help, it was good. So anyway, Diablo 3 comes out, I install it, it doesn't work right away, of course, they've had a lot of problems, and basically I'm just going to tell you what my gripes are with the game, what I liked about the game, pretty much. So the gripes are when they have an update, it takes them 6 fucking hours, which I don't understand. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. The lag is fucking atrocious for a game that's always online and you have to connect. It doesn't make sense to me, I know everybody plays this game online, played all Diablo 2 online, but you should be able to have a single-player mode if you're on an airplane and you don't have an internet connection. It's not that... Yeah, I know I've been online since 1999, but that's not the point. If I'm alone and the server's down, I should still be able to fucking play the game just, to keep us busy. Like, it's a completely simple, obvious choice, and I don't know why they didn't do it. But anyway, that's one of the gripes about the game. Another gripe is... it is oversimplified. Like, they took a lot of the complexity out of the Diablo 2 system and just said, we'll simplify it. Everything's kind of stat-based. And my first impression upon playing the game was, it reminds me heavily of Dungeon Siege and Torchlight. So it's funny, because Diablo got made, and it was a genre-defining type of game. Everyone loved it. Everyone said what the butcher said, fresh meat, and then all these other games get influenced by Diablo and try to make Diablo clones, which are never as good. And then Diablo 3 comes out, they end up copying those that copied them, which I don't know why they did it that way. But anyway, it's oversimplified. I don't like how all of every spell now is just your weapon damage. It's kind of weird. Like, they could have done it differently, but, after you play for a little while, you get each stat, and you just say, okay, fine, that's how you guys chose to do it. It's still fun. That's good. There should be more set items. I have not found one set item yet. It's set items that should have shitty sets. You find them, you put them on, they're good for now, and then you trash them because they're junk later. But I have not found a set item yet. Only found 3 of the brown or orange items. They're the legendary items, and they were junk. Like, they were nothing special. I found blue items that were better than most of the yellow ones. But anyway, as far as the game is concerned itself, the storyline... My gripe is the whole hook for the game was the star comes shooting down from the heavens, hits the Tristram Cathedral, and all the shit gets woken up against you. Like, oh, what's the star? Like, what is that? You find out it's Tyrael because he just quit being an angel because of getting his shit with his boss, and like it just kind of takes the whole hook out of the game. The whole hook was, what's the star and what is it going to do and what does that mean for us? And the star is just Tyrael, and it has nothing to do with anything really. Like, the whole point is he quit being an angel, now he's human. And then that just deflates the whole hook for the game. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then Leah and Adria are main characters. They die. And they kill off Deckard Cain, who's the only guy that's been in all 3 games. Which is kind of funny. And, I don't have a problem with killing off. It's not like he was such a special character. He's just one of those mainstay kind of background, give you information kind of characters. So I really didn't mind if they killed him off. That wasn't a big deal. But Leah was made to be so important, and then just gets possessed by Diablo and just exploded. Ah. Adria gets killed too. She ends up being a betrayer, and I kind of saw that coming. Belial, the Lord of Lies, didn't really do anything. He was supposed to be, the Lord of Lies, and he just took a form. You're like, they're like, oh, we're trying to figure out who Belial is. And to me, it was like, it's either going to be that little Hakan king guy, or it's like one other character. And it turns out to be Hakan, so it's not like he's very good at lying. His boss fight though is pretty cool. And for the Lord of Lies, he's awful terrifying and big and massive looking. Anyway, Asmodan I thought was pretty cool, except that he looks like the demon guy from I can't remember his name. Manaroth, is it? He looks like one of the demons from a previous game. So some of their demons and a lot of their abilities are recycled from other Blizzard projects. Like that kind of irritates me that they don't really go too far outside of the box to create something completely different. You know, they recycle a lot of ideas. Like you see a lot of the StarCraft the lurkers, the spines that go through the ground. You see a lot of that in their games. Like there's just a lot of little touches that they tend to put in their games. And I wish they had a design more different looking demons, because I find most of the demons aren't really that scary. They're not really the tremor guys with those huge pounding arms. Those guys look cool because they're like a ball and they have these huge blocking arms and they can pound the shit out of you with them. And I'm like, that's a unique looking demon. Thank you. Finally, something different. I would have had it so they had just twisted looking fucking like a wall of. It's just a big blob and it's just got a humongous mouth, kind of like that the Gom, the Demon of Gluttony. But I would have changed his face because he looks too much like Oogie Boogie. Other than that, though, he was cool because he was just a gigantic mouth, and all of his attacks were digestion and gas based because he's the Lord of Sloth or fucking Gluttony or whatever. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, there were certain things choices that were made storyline wise and design wise that I did not like. Like Diablo himself is the most disappointing because he's not big and bulky and like terrifying looking. He's very tall and fucking sinewy and lean and like just. He looks like the Alien Queen. Honestly, I think he's built like the Alien Queen. He's very tall, very slim little waist, which doesn't really make any sense because he's supposed to be big, and he almost is very feminine. And that, I don't care if Diablo's a girl, but he's not a girl. Like, he's always been a dude. And Dariel's the only girl out of the 7 demons, so I just don't understand why they designed him that way. And looks like boobs, even though it's just hollow armor or whatever. His voice is awful. He has the worst voice out of the entire game. And he's not supposed to speak. Diablo only said like one line, I think, in the second game. I'm not even sure if he spoke in the first one, or if just when you met him he said something, but he said like one word. He didn't say anything phenomenal. And every time he talks in this game, it takes the steam out of his mystique and out of his... Because if he didn't say anything, it makes him a better villain. The less you make your villain talk, the more stoic he is, the more you take him seriously. He's just rattling off, just talking shit the whole time, and he's just not really impressive at all. And the end cinematic is way too happy. Blizzard games usually have very dark endings. This game here had a way too hopeful ending, and the only reason I'm going to accept that ending is if in the next game it fucking all comes crashing down. We gave you this happy, ending just to kick you in the stomach. That's the only reason, and they better do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to be really fucking disappointed. So a good lead into the expansion could be that now that humanity and angels have defeated the demons have nobody to fight, and they're happy for about 2 days, and then all of a sudden they go insane because they have to fight. Like, it's their whole purpose. They end up picking on humanity. So humans have to go and bring the demons back to give the, to restore the balance, because if there's no balance, the angels are just going to start subjugating and destroying humans. They all go insane because they have to fight, so they're fighting humans. So I think, Blizzard, if you're listening, that's a good hook for the fucking expansion. Do that. Yeah, so anyway, I loved the cinematic where Diablo comes to heaven. He's dressed up as Leah. It's kind of disappointing, though, because I wanted to see the transformation. That angel leader guy, I can't remember his name, goes like this, and, as a welder, I've seen metal turn that white hot, so I was like, oh yeah. Puts his hand up, and the fucking spear comes shooting down, and the sound effect, it goes, and then clang, and the fucking spear comes down, like, badass. And then he shoots Diablo with his ray and says, take your form, and then you just see a fire in the background, and then you see Diablo get up. I was like, I wanted to see the transformation. You fucking cheated me. I wanted to see him, like in the second one, when the stranger bends over, he's like, ah, and then you see the horns and everything. I was like, yeah. They didn't do that. But the rest of the cinematic is gorgeous, except for I don't like how Diablo's built. The rest of the cinematic is fucking great. I liked it. Anyway, a lot of things I like about the game. The music is good. It's not as good as Diablo 2, but whoever designed the music obviously had Blade on the brain, because there's at least 3 musical cues in that game. Like when you're in the cathedral, there's a musical cue that's right out of Blade, and there's 2 others in 2 other parts of the game that are fucking, like, you would not have been able to write music like that unless it's too impossible that it could be 3 coincidences that sound exactly like the soundtrack for the original Blade movie. And there's even a little bit of some of the monsters, those tongue guys, when they die, they sound like the monsters in Hellboy, and there is a sound cue from Hellboy, too, like when Grigory Rasputin has that thing come out of him and it starts growing, there is a musical cue that sounds just like that in Diablo, so a lot of the music's kind of a little bit repetitive, just background kind of atmospheric music, and I wish they would have gotten that Matt Eulahim guy to come in and do it, because he was fucking phenomenal for the second one. So there are gripes about the game. I find it oversimplified, but I'm getting used to that. It is really fun. Like, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's just that the first act is like the first act in Diablo 2. You're in, like, green fields. The second one, you're in a desert, just like Diablo 2. The third one is kind of like the fifth act, where you're under siege. And the fourth act, you're in heaven instead of hell. I didn't mind that you go to heaven. That didn't bother me. But Earl said, oh, come on, in the fourth act you go to hell, and in the fourth act here you go to heaven. I'm like, yeah, actually, that's not very creative, is it? But there is a lot of creativity in the game, just not in the ways I had expected. The ability to shift your skills around at any time to change your strategy is great. That is probably the best thought-out part of the whole game. Like, it's very cool that way. I really enjoyed that. My belief is this is Diablo 3 on its own. I've been playing this game for hours and hours and hours, and I'm still finding new things, which I think is really fucking cool. That aspect of it is excellent. The treasure gnomes are fucking my favorite. Every time you see one, you're just like, oh, I can't wait to fucking get my hands on you, you little bastard. So, my theory is, you know, they launched the vanilla flavor of the game. This is what this game is going to be completely vanilla. When the expansion comes out, you're never going to play the vanilla again, because it's just going to be too bland. But I know when they put out an expansion, they're going to add things, and then the game's really going to take off. So that's my hope, and that's my theory, is that Diablo 3 is really going to take off when that expansion comes out. Like, it's going to get good. They're going to have a shitload of stuff. They're going to give you more of the story you want, because the story on its own right now is just, like I said, I don't like a lot of the choices they made storyline-wise. Didn't really do anything for me. A lot of the character deaths were just completely, not even... I don't mind that Deckard Cain died, but he didn't really die for a cause. He didn't really die, he just died, which is fine. I mean, he's not really that important of a character to me. Leah and Adria throw them away. No, no real purpose or anything. You don't really build up a character's importance just to toss them away like that, to me. You know, real life, it's not like that. Just shit happens, which is great. And I don't mind that sometimes in movies and games where, you know, this main character ends up saving 100 people, goes through this great storyline, gets crushed by a boulder, just because that's the way life happens. But Blizzard usually write their games where the characters have some kind of purpose, and they, you know, everyone wants that destiny thing. You're destined to save the world kind of thing. But, you know, they didn't really do that too much in this one. But anyway, overall, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun. I'm having fun playing multiplayer. And like I said, when the expansion comes out, I think the expansion is going to fucking rock. But as of right now, it's very vanilla. It is. It's fun, though. And I'm going to keep playing it until they decide to hurry up and make an expansion. When they fucking patch it, why does the server go down for 6 fucking hours? That's unbelievable. Why does it take 6 hours to patch? And the connection speed is awful, awful, awful. You have to play online. You have to be connected, but we're going to make sure the ping is absolutely atrocious at the start of the game. Has gotten better, but still has points where it's unplayable. Like, just, come on, guys. Shouldn't you know better by now? You guys every one of your games are online. So why is it the fucking visuals are gorgeous? The fucking game engine runs great. It loads fast. It looks fucking fantastic. But the network side of it is absolute fucking trash. Come on! Anyway, so that's my review.